starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Listen, let your imagination run wild, and discover podcast art. Creativity, we are putting ourselves through the ringer. The efforts known as ONPASSIVE and Supercars Majlis are at the vanguard of the march toward a future that is both more intelligent and faster, and this movement is taking place both on and off the field of competition. If you would like to be part of this global AI tech giant, you can register for free at www.coolzone.ai. Paradigm shift in artificial intelligence as it deciphers the complex cellular language and organizes them into distinct tissues. If AI and high-tech interest you, join this global giant on Passive, free at www.coolzone.ai.
Hello, hello, hello. As you can see, we've got Robin the Voice is here, and Chris Johnson is here, looking good as he ought to. He's gonna go first today because I kind of want to cover with Robin what I talked about yesterday, and he has a story that he would like to share. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, in honor of Dr. Modi, let's put it that way. This morning, good morning, everyone, by the way. Good morning, Robin. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. Marty DeGarmo, always the same. I was actually going through something I used to always do, go through TikTok, go through YouTube, looking for something very inspirational, not only for me, but that I could share out. And I came across this woman. Her name was Catherine Switzer. And I'm not sure how many people understand or know who this woman is. She plays a humongous part in history for something that was the first woman to ever do something. Now, I'm just going to get right into it because I can't hear what you guys are thinking or saying. Or Catherine Switzer, way back in the day, decided she was a runner that she wanted to run the Boston Marathon, which by chance was a men's sport only for over 70 years. There was no women allowed. So it was actually a cold, rainy day. She wore a hoodie, and she didn't sign in with her full name. She used her initials. So they didn't catch it. She got into the race, and then boom, the gun went off, and they're jogging, and down came the hoodie, and no one's really paying attention to it until this bus full of press guys come by, and they're filming, and this guy notices the woman running. He jumps off the bus, tries to grab her numbers and said, "Get the hell out of my race," basically. Now, this is all caught on live footage, cameras, movie, everything. And he's grabbing at her. He's grabbing her arm, and she's still running. And at that point, she had her boyfriend and her coach running next to her. Her boyfriend came out of nowhere and knocked this guy right into the next world. Let's put it that way. And the coach said, "Now run like hell." Now, because this woman did it, she wasn't out to change the world or nothing like that, but she was determined to be in this race because she loved to run, and she thought, if I don't do this, no one will ever believe a woman raced. No one ever will ever believe a woman was in this race. She said, I have to finish this race, whether it's on my hands and knees or on my feet, but I have to finish it. Turns out she finished that race in 4 hours and 20 minutes. And I can't tell you if that's a good time or not. For me, that's an excellent time because it would take me 4 weeks and 20 minutes probably to compete a run like that. And in the process, she became the woman's advocate for runners. She actually created the Olympics for women runners. Very good story. I shared it on my Facebook, but let me explain something to you. After she ran this race, okay, after she put herself out there that she was determined to do something, and I'm going to relate this a little bit to Ash Mafara. It took her 5 years after that initial race to get women to be able to run in that race. She never gave up. She didn't listen to the critics. What she did is she built something with women all around her who loved to run. And if it doesn't remind you a little bit about a guy we know called Ash Mafara, who has many people trying to grab his numbers, has many people trying to stop him and hold him and saying you can't do this, where she was saying, oh, I can do this and I'm going to do this no matter what it takes. And that's what she did. It is a true story. I did share the live stuff on my Facebook. Please go check it out. To me, Catherine Switzer, never in my life have I heard of this woman. It's one of those things that should be heard. It should be seen, because she was the person, because of her faith and what she believed in and how bad she wanted something. She did something very courageous, even dangerous back in that time. And she changed the world for women who wanted to run. Now, does that sound like a big deal? Hell yeah, it's a big deal. Because if she wouldn't have done it, how many more years would have gone on just for a men's race? And we all know today how big the Boston Marathon is, and everyone runs it. You have, believe it or not, you have regular runners, men and women. You have people that are Special Olympic runners. Everyone. It doesn't matter. We have people that pull people in a wheelchair or a wagon just to show them what it feels like to be in a race. So that one little woman changed many things in a lot of people's lives. And I want you to be inspired about that, because that's exactly, she said her quote, we know that if we empower women, we can do anything. Very, very powerful, right? And it's the truth. Ash Mafara has empowered us with ONPASSIVE and what it could do for our dreams, our vision. Most of us don't have the guts to get up and do something like this woman did. I shared a post also on my Facebook about a young girl who's sailing around the world all by herself. And I quoted, this is living. This is living. She just didn't buy a sailboat, get in it and go. It shows on her YouTube all the training she went through, medical. She has to know everything about the weather, currents. It wasn't something that she just said, oh, I'm going to do it. She studied for it because she wanted to do it. So when you actually do a dream or do something that you want to do, it takes a lot of work to get there. You don't just buy. Ash Mafara just didn't buy a little computer and say, oh, let's put some software and hardware in there, and it took off. This has taken him years of dedicated time through his family, through founders, through his tech team, through all his affiliates in ONPASSIVE to build this company. And we're right about that 5-year mark, a little over 5 years. The great thing is it's ready. We're waiting for one little thing. And when that one little thing happens, you're going to feel the empowerment of ONPASSIVE in your life, and you're going to be able to change others. Happy birthday to anyone that's got a birthday today. If you're sick, we're praying for you, especially this lady below, praying for her hard, and everyone else I've mentioned that needs prayers. Jane Redford's mom, too, I know needs prayers. I don't forget any of his stuff. Sometimes I just can't think of it, but keep praying for people no matter what. Pray that people have the strength to do what they want to do in good ways, because a lot of you have dreams. Ash Mafara, believe it or not, whether you believe it or not, is empowering you through ONPASSIVE to do things that you've always wanted to do that you never thought you had a chance. Marty DeGarmo or Robin Noble, back to you.
Fantastic. Very good. No, inspiring and believing. And, you know, I heard a story a long time ago. You're always 100% right. You believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, you won't. Roger Bannister, for example, before he broke the 4-minute mile, it was determined, even by some scientists, that man is not capable physically to run under 4 minutes. It just isn't possible. Well, one day, Roger Bannister didn't believe that, and he did it. And you know what's funny? Once people knew it was possible, Thousands have done it. Thousands and thousands have done it. But after he broke that wall down, after he broke the doubt down, and it's the same with ONPASSIVE. And anything good like ONPASSIVE, this where listen, MLMs can come and go. They do. They build. They bring in money. They pay out a percentage, but 1 or 2% make the money, and everybody else pays in. When you get a company where their goal is everybody wins, you do stand above the crowd, and you also stand as a target. Not everybody wants us to win. Why? Because it'll change the industry. It's going to have things refocused. It's going to have wealth move from one pile to the other. It just is. And some of the ideas that Mr. Mipara has and these PhDs that he's hiring, they're taking off these ideas off the shelf, dusting them off, handing them over to ONPASSIVE. And with the people that he has, they're going to take these people's marvelous ideas and bring them to reality. And that's mind blowing. And some of the ideas actually interfere or can make a problem for part of the industry that's already running. So obviously they're not going to be real happy about it. But I also want to keep everybody in mind. Mr. Mipar, whatever business he was in, and this is what I heard, I'm going to try to get this best I can. Wherever he went before ONPASSIVE, he would check it out. He analyzed what is the pay structure, what is this, what is that, how does it work, what are the products, and he would build a system, an ask for a system, so that he could maximize everything as quick as possible. Why? Because the most valuable thing on life is time. Well, what did he do here, which is even more spectacular for me, is he took his knowledge, obviously an idea of how he would market using AI and everything state of the art, and build it so that if he was starting today, this system that he has put together would make him super, super successful. Then what did he do? I want to scale it up so it does the same thing for Virginia DeSanto, Robert McGee, and Eric Kessler, and everybody out here, so that you can become a hero. Listen, he made the cape, he made the suit. You just got to put it on. You're a superhero. You don't have to know how to do certain things. I hear people now, I want to do this. I want to listen, plant the seed. A lot of you have. A lot of the family members and friends tell you you're nuts, you're crazy. It's okay. So was Einstein. You're in good company. Mr. McFarland is called crazy and all that. That's good. Great company. Anybody, big inventors or movers and shakers of the world, were the ones that were thought of as this guy or this lady's crazy. That's okay. That's what changes the world. That's what changes the world. But what I wanted to get back to, I had brought up a few times. Um, I want to talk about what has never changed. When I first got on passive, after the first 7, 8 months, when it was decided that we're going to build something more than just a marketing platform. Okay, what we're getting into now. In fact, it's even bigger now. But the thought was, let's go for it. Let's go. You know, he might have had a 10-year plan. No, let's do it now. So here we are. But what he said was, for early bird special for people called founders, if you pay $97, you could be a founder. You're in, and you're going to make one more payment out of pocket. Okay, and that's for whatever product comes up first. And we all knew this. We all said okay. And he goes, because he wanted to give some kind of hint. He didn't. There's no way he would know this, because he doesn't know what it costs to make. He doesn't know what it would cost to put it out to a million people. So he would set up guidelines that he thought, okay, we're going to pay 97 to be a founder, early bird person, affiliate, and you're going to pay somewhere between $200 and $300 for the first product. And I do not want it to come out of your pocket after that. 2 payments you're going to make out of your pocket. 2. The other one, Anyone after that will come out of your profits in your wallet in OES. That has not changed. That's never changed. The only thing that changed was the 97 that we were charged originally, they gave it back. Okay? They gave it back to us and they put it in the wallet of OES, which is 97 O coin. But it's $1 a coin. That's the equivalent. Then he said, for migrating, we're going to pay you 10 O coin, which is equal to $10. They're paying people to move into OES. Bonkers. I can't believe it. But they did. So now we have $107. Now we go in. So he said, if you migrate, I'm going to give you the 97 back. I'm going to pay you 10 for migrating, and you can use that money to help pay for your first product. That's better and bigger than what he initially said. Way bigger. Okay, for one thing, we did not pay 200 to 300. We paid 143. We paid 143 for 3 months. That's crazy. That's not what was said. So it's even bigger and better than we thought. Okay. Now, those 90 days would have ended 90 days after September 1st. Now, if you weren't around to paying right away, which some people weren't, okay, whatever. As long as you paid in that first 90 days, you're going to get 3 months. So it should have went until February at max. But what happened? Unforeseen things, because we have outside influences or outside things that we have to use right now. The future, we won't. Merchants, they said, we got it. We can handle the money. Let her rip. Push the pedal to the metal. We got it. It didn't work out. I don't know all the details, but they did not pay out. It did not work. And that kind of put the brakes on things because now here's the cool thing. If he couldn't pay everybody, he shut it down. Okay, now here comes the 90 days for the people that did it in September. 90 days comes up and they go, we're going to have to pay again. And everybody said it. Oh my God, I'm going to have to pay again. I'm going to have to pay again. Mr. Mufara comes out and goes, here's a 30-day extension. What does that mean? You didn't pay out of pocket because we gave you an extension. Okay, that extension goes on. Now remember, the extension is going on because of this little bottleneck of being able to pay people. It's just not about here's $500. There's laws. There's different laws in every country. There's different laws in every state of how you could pay, how much you could pay, when you pay. They have to go through all of that stuff because they want to be transparent. So while they're doing all that, the money's adding up. So they started to pay and they had another issue with another merchant. So now they're looking for something more long term. And they said, we're going to stop selling it with the card. I believe it was January 21st. Now everybody said, well, then why'd they stop paying? They're having trouble with the money. They weren't having trouble receiving the money. But they don't want to keep receiving money when they're trying to calculate what is the commission and what are the bonuses. Now, once they get that going and they have pretty confident that they can get people's bonuses and commissions paid, I'm not going to say it's going to blow up because that makes people crazy. It's going to go viral. How's that? It's going to go viral because let me explain to you. If they have 37 million to pay out and people that never made any money. Now look, that's never guaranteed everybody's going to make so much money very first time. His intent is nobody pays again. Now, that hasn't changed. If 98% of the people have enough money after the bonuses and everything is paid and the commissions, they can put the money back in, buy again, and we're off to the races. There might be 1 or 2% that don't have quite enough in their wallet to pay. He never said you have to pay again out of your wallet. You might be on a pause. But I'm telling you, if you unleash this massive amount where money is flowing in the other 98%, the 2% aren't going to be paused very long. I mean, it could be hours, no joke. And then what happens? Every time somebody gets a commission or a bonus, whatever it's called, stop worrying about how much and what it is. It is a chain reaction. If I get paid and I buy a new product or I pay the next month's subscription, that initiates what? It initiates another bonus. It initiates another commission for somebody. It does. That's where the magic happens. That's where we start going viral and things are going boom, 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 boom. Because let's face the facts, they could pay $37 million in the next 2 weeks. They would love nothing more than that. That's going to cause a reaction of another millions in a couple more weeks. And people say, well, I don't get it. Well, this isn't going to stop. It's going to get bigger. So they need to look at a long-term solution so that they're not doing this stutter go one step forward, two step back. They don't want to do that. Because every time Mr. Mufara makes the decision, we're going to give you a 30-day or 10-day or 10-hour, I don't care what it is. Every time they give an extension, Mr. Mufara and the ONPASSIVE company is losing money. Why? Electric's still on. The company's still got to be paid for all over all the locations. All the tech people are getting paid. All the travel back and forth, which is somebody's in the air right now for ONPASSIVE, for us. All of the advertising, all of the malls all over the AUE, they're not on pause. You're paying them. But when you stop what's coming in and you're still paying out, nobody wants this to go quicker than Mr. Mubarak. Now, what he could have done is pause one end of it and keep bringing money in. But he didn't. He wants more than anybody, and I mean anyone, to get money to people that have it coming. And the ambition is you don't pay out of pocket again. And if things work out right, I believe some people might be paused. They might be. But I tell you what, if they can get rid of this little issue, which they will long term, I believe everything's going to be internal, and this will never look at this again. It'll flow like a river. This is new. Ash did not go to a book in the library on building a unicorn company run with heart. Let me go look that up. Nobody did it. He's learning as he goes. And we're all learning. We've all evolved to be better people, I think. I really do. I know I have. I was a good person, but I learned things in the last 5 years that I did not know. And I'm seeing other people I think feel the same way. So did Mr. Mufara. But all said and done, and this pipe of love going back and forth is going to be huge, and there won't be a small area where it gets tight and gets bunched up. That's what they're working on, day and night, night and day. Why did he say 10 days? Because I believe he thought they could have that puzzle piece done before 10 days. Didn't work out. It had nothing to do with the effort. Trust me. If you think that and you have doubt in Mr. Mufara, the company, I can't help you. I'm not sure anybody can. And I'm not sure I want to. Because I think if you look at everything that's happened and all the company has done for us, and we have a little bit of doubt, I don't get it. I'm not the guy to ask because I just don't get it. It doesn't even make sense to me. When they got ripped off millions and millions of dollars from the merchant, or did they ask for any money from me? No, they took the blunt, they took the kick, they took the punch in the gut, and then they said, while they're bent over getting kicked around, they said, okay, hold on, these guys are going to have to pay again. Give them an extension. Think about that. Knock to their knees while they're on their knees getting back up. Or make sure you give an extension to the million people. I don't want them to have to worry about it. Let's remember that. That's all I want to say. Let's try to visualize what I'm saying. I may not be 100% correct. In fact, there's a good chance I'm not. But I think the intent of the company, I'm 100% right. Because they've done nothing else to make us think any different. So if you have doubt, it's you. And I'm passive. Anything else, okay. Life has crazy stuff. But if there's any doubt in unpassive, it's you. Because they've never given the reason to think. They're onboarding PhDs, they're onboarding the Einsteins of the world. They're going to take things that were put on shelves that big companies that looked at it, well, we can't make any money right away with that. We're not doing it. Those things are going to be taken off, wiped off, and they're going to be things that enhance mankind, men and women. Where, my gosh, I'm so fortunate to be part of that. And we're going to be able to see it. The dog just sucked out of my straw. Unbelievable. Anyway, I hope that was good. Anyway, but anyway, please wrap your head around that. I know some people listened to me and didn't get what I was saying. I really don't know how to make it more simple. But I can't convince somebody that doesn't believe. I really don't want to. But I would like you to think about where we've been, what has gone on. I have never been in a company ever in 20 years that I didn't pay a monthly subscription, even while I was losing money. I'm not losing money right now. Nobody is. Nothing. Everything's done for us. And when it's over, if you see just a little bit, if you have the faith, you're going to go viral with the biggest company in the world. And I hope that made sense. Now, Robin's going to come in behind me and clean up my mess. And then maybe I'll have something to say afterwards. Robin, go ahead.
Thank you, Marty. Thank you, Chris. Nice to be with you. Thank you for bringing me in again today. I feel very special. So much is going on. And you know what? It's a peaceful time right now. If you can expand your thinking, expand your thoughts, expand your understanding of what ONPASSIVE is, this really is a time of quiet, gentle energies. Ash is working with his teams behind the scene. We see that in the posts that are going on through the other social media networks of what the company is putting out, the blogs, the videos, the reels, everything that's there. We're getting glimpses of what's going on. We should not be fearful of that something is not happening with ONPASSIVE. I'm going to go back to some of the discussions that we had with Ash as far back as 2019 when I first joined. Actually, it was the end of 2018, but the conversations that I started really listening to and making notes from was when Ash started to talk about the future and when he would be bringing more products to the marketplace, to the world, how the different spokes in the wheel representing the different divisions of ONPASSIVE would be coming together, and how he was enjoying the time talking to all of us. And some of you may remember those 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hour webinars that were so full of information and insights and helping us to understand the dream and what he has created and would be creating in those days. He laid everything on the line. He opened his heart to us about what ONPASSIVE was going to be all about. And truly, if you go back to those early days and remember that time, all the messages that have come through since then from him continue to say the same thing. He's done this for all of us. But in doing it for all of us, it doesn't happen overnight. It does take time. So we need to be understanding, we need to be positive and appreciative of what has been done for us, even if we don't know what is happening. And one of the things that Ash did say in those talks and even recently was that when he's not with us on a webinar or in a live or that sort of thing, and if he's gone quiet, it's because they are working so full steam ahead in making sure that all the dots are connected, the T's are crossed, and it's all coming together properly through the coding, through the connectivity, through the upscaling, the upgrading, and the expansion of the company from the different areas. It all takes time and it all takes energy for it to come together. So please take this time. Quiet reflection, positive prayers of joy. It is coming. Now, I've seen a couple of questions in the chat as they've come through, and I'm going to address a couple of them. And first of all, Danny Sunny, thank you so much for your comment about P&G and helping to get this out to the founders over there. We know how hard you work and look after everybody, and you translate it so that they can understand it in Pidgin. And so if others are here with us and you speak another language and you are involved with groups in another language, please do the same thing. Please take these webinars, please take these lives and translate the information, because it's one thing to have Ash's words translated directly, but it's also important to translate the uplifting parts as well of this, and the motivation and the understanding and the breakdown of what is happening. And Chris and Marty do that very, very well. So please make sure that you're translating accurately from these lives. It takes a little bit of time, but it is appreciated by those who receive the information. Now, the other thing that we've found out through the course of the times that we've listened to Ash over these years and months is that with his past experience out there in the world of marketing and sales and different industries, he saw what was lacking. So he created a system for himself that he was not able to share with many others. So he took a look at it all and he created ONPASSIVE in exactly the manner in which he would like to be using products. And if he was back out there in those other industries that he was in before, this is the type of system that he would be wanting to have at his fingertips. This is one of the reasons why he created ONPASSIVE. And he's done that for us, so that whether we stay with ONPASSIVE in terms of marketing ONPASSIVE or talking to others about it, we have the tools. If we have other businesses, brick and mortar and other industry businesses, we have those tools within ONPASSIVE to be able to help us and increase the connectivity and the ability to market and make others aware globally, if necessary, of what we do. So please, again, be excited about what is here. Be excited about what we have heard, because Ash is also lining everything up behind the scenes. I agree with Marty and Chris that as soon as the finances are set and everything is working smoothly, and remember, Ash did say also that if everybody could not receive the apples, the commissions at the same time, that he would not be issuing it for anybody. So he's holding it back out of love. He's not holding it back to spite anybody or to create challenges or upsets for anyone. He wants this to be done for all founders at the same time. So please keep that in mind. The other thing too is, how do you find out how the bonuses work? That's one of the questions that was in the chat here earlier. Well, we've just signed an affiliate agreement. Please go back into your OES back office, find that agreement that you've signed and read it. Yes, it will take a little bit of time. Get a cup of tea, cup of coffee, glass of water, and read it. It lays out right there in black and white what the affiliate agreement is all about. And it's really very interesting. And it will also explain the commissions, the bonuses, and it's exciting. Again, another reason to stay calm, to relax, to stay in the now, but know what we have. And all the information is being given to us. You know, if you don't go through and look at your back office yourself, well, at least listen to those who are strongly suggesting when they do say, go and listen or go and watch, go and read. Please do it so that you know what's going on and the fear and the anxiety will subside. The other thing is, too, I was reminded, no, actually, in this instance, I'm sorry, changing directions. There is an amazing movie on Netflix called The Bank of Dave. And when it was given to me and suggested that I watch it, they didn't say very much about it. And Janet Butler is the lady who suggested that I watch this. And it is one of the most uplifting, informative, happy, it's a great story. It's a great story of somebody who wants to help the people in his community. Well, if you take the context of what that movie is all about and envision Ash in that position and expand what is being said and what is happening in that movie 1,000,000 times and globally, you will have an inkling of what Ash goes through and is hoping to achieve, and it will achieve ultimately, but the steps that one has to go through to create a bank. And this happens to take place in one part of the world, but you can certainly apply the logistics of all of this to every country in the world. A very, very lovely movie. Just, it goes through so easily, tears and laughter and joy. And this is what ONPASSIVE is to me as well. So the movie is called Bank of Dave, and it is on Netflix. So if anybody's interested, you might want to watch that. The other thing is, remember, with the financials to be paid out, this is a global situation that Ash is working with. He's working with the governments from all of the different countries. He's working with the financial departments in all of these different countries, the legal departments and the compliance departments to ensure that this smooth flow of monies coming to us happens legally. So please keep the prayers going for Ash, for ONPASSIVE, for Ash's family, for all the team leaders, for our CEOs and our executive teams, and for all founder affiliates as well, for the smooth successes and the reassurances and the understanding and the expansion of understanding and knowledge of what ONPASSIVE is. So Marty and Chris, thank you so much for including me again. This has been amazing. I've learned from both of you, and I thank you for calling me up and saying, come on, it's time to join us.
Absolutely. Great job, Robin. Fantastic. Can you guys hear me okay? Do you have anything else, Chris? Okay, go ahead.
I do. Real quick, I want to announce that I just seen in here, Russ Miller is at home resting with a brand new kidney. Thanks again for the prayers. Pretty good information I just saw there.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Pam.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
Huh. I was going to do a Q&A about what we talked about today, but we're kind of running out of time. If you put a Q, now I want you to talk about what we were talking about, nothing else. We might be able to answer a few, but put a Q in front of your question so I know it's a question. And we could go about 5 more minutes, and then Red's going to have to come on soon. So if you have a question, do a Q and then ask your question in the chat about what we're talking about, not anything else. I'm not going into a massive Q&A. We don't have time. And if you don't, I'm happy because that means Chris made sense.
What is wrong?
By the way, while you're thinking earlier, Chris was
Joking to death.
Chris was like molesting a dozen eggs, and one of them
Lodged
in the wrong part of his throat, so he had to cough. Ugh. You know what that means? With a broken rib.
Two broken.
I felt so bad I was crying.
Yeah,
and
he was laughing, crying, and I was dying.
No, listen, I have to admit, the evil part of me was laughing. But because I cared, I got off. I hung up the phone because I said I don't want any parts of manslaughter. Okay.
I was still coughing for 5 minutes after that. And I'm glad he hung up the phone because he was laughing so hard that it was making me laugh and cough, and it was just horrible.
And then we get on here, me and Robin, and we're waiting and waiting and waiting. Chris and Robin goes, you left him. He could be passed out on the floor. So, crap.
I was worried. I was really worried. And
Yeah,
Marty still laughed.
she was worried.
Part of me was worried, but there's that one part with the horns.
And Judy Young just answered me. I said, too late. We are going to have and this could happen in the future. We are going to have Judy Young, who represents one of the representatives of the deaf community, break it down in sign language, because what Marty had said and what he explained today is a lot of the people from deaf community reached out to me. They didn't understand really what he meant. So hopefully you guys see the right translation. If you have Chrome underneath there, but if not, we can always bring on we don't have time now, but maybe in the next couple of days, we could bring on Judy Young, and she could break it down in sign language, and Marty can talk. She can read and sign at the same time.
Oh,
That's
she can
something we've
actually
never done.
She can actually take the one we just did and do that.
Yeah.
But I really believe that Chrome closed caption works better than actual YouTube does. So you might want to do it with Chrome.
Collins.
Anyway, almost 600 people here.
Hi, Collins.
All to see Robin.
All to see Robin.
Yeah, we know. It's not Tex Cobb or me. I get it.
Well, they don't have to look. They don't have to look up to see her. They can see her right here. Oh God!
What the frick is he talking about?
I'm the rose. I am the rose.
Oh, and she's circling the castle.
She's circling the castle on that broomstick. You don't have to look at it. There's Robin.
She doesn't write with it anymore. She wrote something a couple of years back called Surrender Dorothy. But
this is the relationship that we have. Where,
by the way, I'm joking, guys, because I know you're all going, oh my God, I can't believe
you dare say that to Robin Noble? She told me I better click my heels and go home real fast.
Oh, look at the lovely messages just because of the two of you. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate your kindnesses and love and support. Marty and Chris, stop it, Chris. Marty and Chris do this to me frequently. And
no, I don't. Don't listen to Robin.
Yeah.
You're gonna get me lynched.
Yeah. Her sister usually steps up to the plate when we pick on her too much. So
yeah, and adds in.
Yeah, she will not.
Anyway,
that's what Robin.
We're gonna go, Robin. Thank you for being. I listen. I called Robin last second.
Yeah,
she did good. So I'm glad she came in.
What do you do?
And I hope that we're inspired and try to tell you what we know, because I understand it. But please pass it along if you understand. You know, I mean, only a few thousand people know this. You got to pass it on to people that maybe don't. Anyway, you're the best, said Peter Rogers.
Yeah.
What is Peter now?
Her head is swelling right now. You know that. I don't know if she'll be able to take off on that broom now with that big head, Marty.
You too.
That's what happens when you're always right.
That's right.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate all of you, and I really appreciate the prayers going into some major challenges and appointments over the next few days and weeks. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Chris and Marty. I will discuss things with you both later on. And it's been an absolute joy being with all of you today. Bye-bye.
All right. I'll see you.